This is an ABP Live Podcast.
Hi guys, welcome to Ladies First on ABP Live Podcast. This is the podcast we talk to the rising and shining girl bosses of the 21st century. And today we have a very young girl with us who is already girl bossing at the age of 17. She is the amazing Kashvi Jindal. Hi Kashvi,
Hi.
welcome to Ladies First.
Thank you, I'm glad to be here.
It is all my pleasure to be talking to you and मैं अपने audience को थोड़ा सा बता दूँ काशवी के बारे में that why is she so special and what is she doing to become the girl boss of the 21st century. So Kashvi is a young 17-year-old who is already working to become a budding economist. She has had an innate interest into finances and economics, and at the age of 14 she co-founded a youth platform to help children become more well versed with public speaking, and with that she helped 500 underprivileged children learn public speaking. That's amazing. Kudos to you.
Thank you so much.
And now, at the age of 16, इतना ही नहीं करा है इन्होंने. Already, she is also working on another initiative that's called Invest the Change, in which she is trying to make the underprivileged people who do not know how to manage their expenses and live a more hand-to-mouth kind of a living. They are trying, Kashvi is trying to make them understand the importance of maintaining finances and कैसे वो government की schemes को use करके अपने लिए एक better opportunity create कर सकते हैं to live a better life. So this is a great thing that you are doing, Kashvi, and kudos to you firstly. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
For having done so much already at the age of just 17. So अब जर्नलिस्ट तो मैं हूँ तो ये तो पूछना ही पड़ेगा कि कैसा महसूस कर रही हैं आप इतनी बढ़िया काम करके.
I think I've learned a lot of stuff from, I've learned a lot of new perspectives. I think meeting new people, getting so many different experiences, I think it's been great. It's also like overwhelming at times, so many things at once. But I'm really enjoying the process, and I'm really grateful that I've gotten both these opportunities to be able to start both these platforms, and that they've successfully turned out well as well. I think overall it's been very exciting. It's been really fulfilling doing both these projects.
I'm sure it is. So tell me this, Kashvi, ये interest कहाँ से start हुआ? Because you're just 17 and इतनी इससे क्या young age थी जब finances में and economics में इतना interest आ गया?
So because my father, he's a hedge fund manager.
Okay.
So ever since I was young, a lot of dinner table conversations revolved around finance, economics, the latest news. And even when I was young, I distinctly remember that I used to ask my father about the market fluctuations, ki market up thi ya down. Like I didn't understand, I didn't know what it meant really, but just because वो news पे
right, corner पे green and red जो signs आया करते थे, exactly.
So I used to ask him without even understanding the underlying concepts. So as I grew older, the conversations became more specific and also when I got into school and my subjects became more specific. Like I had economics at school, and then I gave AP macro and microeconomics. So I got like more of a hint, more of a trailer into the world of economics and finance. So I started realizing that I really enjoy this, and I attended the Wharton summer program, which was on finance last year, which was a really good opportunity that really made me realize how much I love finance, and it taught me new concepts and it made me talk with like-minded people. So that was really exciting, and I think that's been pretty much the journey.
That is great. And talking about the two projects आपने start किए हैं, the youth platform. Can you tell us a little about it? What was the thought behind it? And what I know is that वो COVID में आपने start किया था to help children get the education that they were missing out on. So what was the idea and how did you train 500 children into public speaking? How did it go about?
So basically during COVID, me and one of my friends, we were just thinking about it, and thankfully we were privileged enough that our education did not stop during COVID. We had our online devices and we had online education going on. But we started thinking about it and we realized that even though a lot of these government schools or NGOs, they teach their kids subjects like math, English, they only teach them academic subjects.
Right.
Nobody is talking about public speaking, communication, debating, all of this. And with communication skills being so important in the 21st century, where everything is through communication skills, whether it's any of your applications, anything
आजकल तो आधे लोगों का जैसे कहते हैं ना खाना पानी ही इंस्टाग्राम पे पब्लिक स्पीकिंग से चल रहा है, so obviously it is a very important skill.
Exactly, it's how you converse with people that आपका impression बनता. There's so many things.
Exactly.
How you talk about yourself, how you talk about how you talk to other people, etc. It's all done through communication skills. So we came about this idea, and then we were like, we need to do something about it. We started creating our own curriculum plan of 8 to 10 sessions, and then this was like October 2021, peak COVID.
Right.
We were reaching out to a few organizations, and then we couldn't go in person to conduct these sessions either because it was peak COVID. Luckily, one of these organizations, Sitare, they were still continuing with online education because they had like online gadgets and stuff. So they were delighted with the idea, and then we started conducting the workshops with them, and we had a very, very positive response. The kids were super excited, super enthusiastic कि wow, like something like this also exists.
कुछ different उनको सीखने को मिल रहा है.
Exactly, like break हुआ एकदम like all from all the academic subjects. So I think after the very, very positive response that we got from them, we decided to reach out to other organizations, and luckily COVID started waning उसके बाद, and we were able to start conducting our sessions in person with multiple NGOs as well. And so I'm in Gurgaon, and my co-founder, she's in Chandigarh. So she is conducting these sessions there, and I'm conducting them here. So that's how we're widening our reach. And
so we're going pan-India very soon.
Yeah, that is the aim.
Great.
That is the aim. And we've gotten volunteers, like our friends or other people who are interested in public speaking, debating, who have learned it before. We're getting them on board, training them to help us conduct these courses with other kids, with other NGOs, to widen our reach, so that we can teach as many underprivileged kids communication skills as possible.
That is amazing. And now coming to you, you mentioned that you had always had this, interest in finances and economics. So, and you also went to Wharton for the AP Macro Economics course. So that is amazing. I mean, that is a college level course that you studied at the age of 16. How did that happen? Because as we all know, that is something that is much beyond your age level and your understanding for any normal kid.
Of course.
So how did that happen, and was it tough? Was it very challenging, intimidating? कैसा था experience?
I think एक बार जब मैंने AP Macro के exams दे दिए, that was like a normal exam. After I did that, like I already had done much more into finance than I would have done in school otherwise. So once I went to Wharton, वहाँ पे it was obviously intimidating at first, completely new country, new people, new atmosphere, new subjects.
Right.
But I think once I got used to it, and I was super excited, like I was very excited to learn from professors there, who are experts in their field. So, and I think once I got into the groove of it, like doing stock market pitches, so many other things, it was really exciting. Plus, like I was learning a lot of new material. I was making friends from like around the world, learning so much about their stories, their life. And I think overall, it was like a very life-changing experience.
Right.
It changed me. It made me a very confident person and more sure of myself as well. And it made me learn a lot about the subject matter itself. Like it made me deep dive into it, because I think that was the turning point. I was like, oh, like I'm really interested in this. That
Right.
whereas like I would want to pursue a career in this subject.
Right.
But yeah, I think it was challenging at times and intimidating also, but I think I came out of the experience a much more confident individual.
I'm sure. And you mentioned that you gave certain exams for it. So how did that come about? Like, was this your idea that maybe I should pursue something of that sort? या फिर वो through school था? Like, how did you give those exams for AP Micro and Macro?
So basically, I've always, like I mentioned, I've always been interested in finance, and I wanted to do something जो school level से ऊपर था, because school level पे, इस level पे, like 10th 11th में economics and finance पे इतना focus नहीं रहता. So to even get extra credit, I attempted both of these exams,
Right.
and they're from college, like the official college board, which also presents this SAT. So उनके exams होते हैं ये APs वाले. So I gave these two exams. And after I gave these exams and all, I was like that, you know, like my family, we were discussing कि क्या करना चाहिए आगे. And because I'm planning to pursue college abroad in the US, I was like, I think a summer program in the US itself would be a great idea to give me a taste of things, like a small trailer of sorts. So yeah, that's pretty much how it came about.
Okay, amazing. And now talking about invest the change. What is the idea? Because of course we understand that there are a lot of people in debt in India. There are a lot of people below the poverty line. But at the same time, these are also people who have a very hand-to-mouth existence. उनके पास वो पैसा या वो रिसोर्स है ही नहीं कि वो उसको सेव करे या इन्वेस्ट करे. So how are you helping these people, you know, gain a better perspective towards such things?
So initially, in fact, like we had decided, I was researching, and one of my one of the housekeeping staff members in my society, he met with an accident.
Okay.
And he was the sole breadwinner of his family, and his family was in immense financial debt, and everybody was raising funds for them. So I saw this recurring pattern, and I started researching, and I came across that it was very, very common in India that a lot of these families were going into immense financial distress because of medical emergency, some death in the family, or any kind of medical expenses. And obviously, like, I started looking for solutions after that. And the first solution that comes to your mind is insurance.
Right.
But private insurance is super expensive.
Exactly.
They cannot afford it.
They cannot
afford it. So I started looking for other viable solutions, and then I came across government insurance schemes that are available for like at a very cheap rate, like 20 rupees per annum or 436 rupees per annum based on the different government schemes. So when I started researching these schemes, I was like, कि ठीक है, जाकर we should talk about this. So initially we were talking about only savings and investment. But I realized that the audience was not connecting.
Exactly.
They don't have that excess, those excess funds कि वो कहीं पर invest कर पाए.
Exactly.
Because they can't make ends meet. They can't invest anywhere else. So instead, I started talking about these government schemes that we came across. And this really sparked their interest. They were like, oh wow, like this could...
ऐसा भी कुछ है जो हमारी हेल्प कर सकता है.
Exactly. मतलब जब कोई फाइनेंशियल इमरजेंसी या कुछ मेडिकल इमरजेंसी आती है, उनको अपनी सारी सैलरी, सारी सेविंग्स स्पेंड करनी पड़ती है. If they have insurance, there's so much they can save.
Right.
So this really sparked their interest, and a lot of them showed interest in this. कि हाँ, हमें भी ये scheme लेनी है. So I started formulating the course plan for this. We approached multiple other institutions where we started conducting these workshops. Started talking to them, these blue collar workers, about these schemes. So now there are like essentially 3 verticals to invest the change. One is the creation of the content, second is the delivery of the workshop, and third is the post follow-up checkups that we do, where we make sure that the beneficiaries are actually acquiring the scheme, whether it's helping them fill out the forms or helping them create a bank account if they don't have one, or whatever it is. Like a lot of them, they don't know how to write.
Right.
So we can help them fill out the forms, and it can also be done online. So we help them with that as well. Just making sure कि जो actual scheme है, सिर्फ पता ही नहीं चल रहा उनको उसके बारे में,
use भी कर पा रहे हैं,
उसको avail कर पा रहे हैं actually में. So that is the main idea of Invest the Change. Basically just connecting them with multiple financial schemes available while also making them financially aware about other things.
Right. Okay, and how well has it been going? What has been the response? Have you been able to help people out there who are in need of such things?
So currently we've helped about 3,000 people.
That's
across
amazing.
Thank you, across northern India at multiple locations, and we've gotten a very positive response. People are showing a lot of interest, and they're very, like, it's a good thing that they have a safety blanket to fall to.
Right.
कि अगर कुछ होता है कि ठीक है, we have this scheme, इसका benefit हमारे पास आ जाएगा.
Right.
So it's been pretty successful so far, and we're planning to go pan-India. Currently we've done the sessions mostly in northern India, but I plan to expand it as much as possible and widen our reach.
It is great. It is a great initiative because there are people out there who really need this. Because उनका लाइफ खत्म हो जाती है अगर ऐसा कोई एक इतना बड़ा इंसिडेंट लाइक अब माइनर से माइनर एक्सीडेंट भी हो जाए तो उनके लिए बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है. So kudos to you for having done this. And now coming back to Wharton and the experience around it, you got to go to US and live there, live that dream New York life, jo hum dekhte hain mostly, in all these TV shows and everything. But you were in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I was in Philadelphia.
Right. So how was that experience, like roaming around, being with people from the US? How was it?
I think before going for the program, I was very apprehensive. Ki, like new culture, new people, how will it be? I was very scared. But I think once I got there, the people were super warm. Everybody was very welcoming, and because everybody was coming for the first time, I think it was like a little daunting for everybody.
Right.
And I think our shared love for finance bonded us together.
Exactly.
I think that was one thing, and then roaming around the city, exploring the city, trying out new restaurants. I think that was super fun. It also like taking care of my own laundry, buying groceries.
Adulting hit hard. Shit just got real.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, okay, like it made me realize that India mein reh ke, Gurgaon mein reh ke, everything is so sorted out for me. Like mom is helping with everything, food. I don't have to worry about anything.
वहाँ मम्मी ने ये सुबह उठाने के लिए.
So I think like it made me more confident, independent, and I think वहाँ पे जो the friends I made, it was like a very new experience. The lifestyle they have, the stories they had to share was very different from mine.
Right.
So I think that was very interesting for sure as well.
And did you get the princess treatment because you were the youngest amongst them all?
I think in general everybody was just like treating me as their younger sibling sort of thing. But yeah, for sure.
Okay. And how was the food? You said that you really liked exploring restaurants. So वो कैसा रहा experience?
The thing is, I love ice creams.
Okay.
I love ice creams, and the flavors that you get that are available in the US. मतलब पता नहीं कितने flavors होते हैं उनके पास. I made sure that I was trying a different flavor of ice cream each day. So I think that was really interesting. I loved trying new flavors. That's one thing that I really miss.
Okay.
Other than that, I think that I love how you can customize your food there. Like if you're getting any Mexican bowl, you can customize that. If you're getting any smoothie bowl, you can customize that. It's not fixed. So I loved just exploring and customizing it to my own preferences.
Right. Nice. That is great. And talking about the future, like what do you see as आपके जो दोनों initiatives that you're working on? What is the future out there, whether it's for the youth platform or Invest the Change? Where do you see it going?
So for Invest the Change, we're actually currently building an app which would filter out the government schemes based on the eligibility of the people after asking a few questions.
Okay.
It'll ask a few questions based on their age, income bracket, whatever it is, and it'll automatically filter out what schemes they're eligible for.
Right.
And this will be available to them in all regional languages, not only Hindi and English. Because one major thing that I saw when I was looking at other apps was that एक तो their homepage is very fancy and not very accessible to the people. Like they're not able to understand what to do, and mostly it's all in English.
Right.
And they can't understand. And to reach the blue collar workers, to be able to connect with them, it has to be an information that they can understand, obviously.
Right.
So it'll be available in all vernacular languages. That is one thing. Secondly, of course, being able to conduct the sessions pan-India, reaching out to as many people as possible and helping as many people as we can with the government schemes. Currently, it's like a few select government schemes. We plan ki bahut like jitni bhi government schemes available hai, sabko incorporate kar paye.
Right.
As for the youth platform, we're currently trying ki firstly, of course, the same ki as many NGOs as we can, getting more volunteers who can help us conduct these courses, as well as maybe trying to publish our course, jo hamara course content hai, getting it registered and making it officially a part of maybe like government schools. Pitching it to like Delhi government or some other ministries, the education ministry, so that they can implement it at different government schools, because we do think this is a very, very important
It is a
aspect.
very necessary aspect of learning, of growing as a person as
Of
well,
course.
because the way you communicate to anyone reflects a lot about you as a person and your personality.
It's everything. It's how you talk to somebody else, how you're just carrying yourself, all of that matters, and it all comes from communication skills.
Absolutely. And you also mentioned the app thing. So something that came to my mind is that these are people who we're talking about, the underprivileged people that we're talking about. A lot of them don't have internet access. A lot of them don't have smartphones. A lot of them don't know the, working of an app. So how do you, plan on bridging that gap?
So that was the one major thing that even we thought of. That's why the app hasn't been published yet. We're still figuring out the details of it, but we might, instead of an app, publish an online portal, which might be easier, which should come with like maybe QR codes so that it's very, very easy for people to access. It's still currently in the works, but you made a very good point that a lot of these people don't even have smartphones ki app download kar paye. But the main idea is that when we're conducting the sessions, anybody who does, it becomes easier for people to connect. And anybody, like for example, हमने किसी को बताया government scheme के बारे में, he wants to tell some other people about the government scheme, and they want to connect with us to acquire a particular scheme. They can do it through the app. So it's just to widen the reach and make financial literacy more accessible to the masses.
And meanwhile, you are of course going on with your offline sessions as well.
Exactly.
Because I think the human connect that you can get, it really makes people relate to what you are saying.
For sure. It's very important to build that trust, build that relationship with them to ensure that what you're doing is actually genuine work and that it would actually benefit them.
I think वो transparency तभी आती है when you actually talk to a person sitting in front of you.
For sure.
And उससे अच्छा काम कोई भी I think app या फिर कोई भी portal नहीं कर सकता. For sure. And talking about another very important topic as far as finances are concerned, women in India are, a group of people, whether they are homemakers, whether they are, earning a living, whether they are kids. उनको हमेशा फाइनेंस से दूर ही रखा जाता है या दूर ही समझा जाता है कि ये तो नहीं कर पाएंगे या इनको नहीं आता होगा, which has somehow even led to that a lot of women are not equipped with the financial know-how. What do you feel about this and how do you think can we change it?
I think that as you mentioned, India में तब अभी भी बहुत patriarchal society है, especially when it comes to finance.
Right.
Any financial matter, like the men of the house are controlling it.
Exactly.
Like, you're earning some salary, the men of the house will take it and they'll see कहाँ जा रहा है. I think, but having that financial freedom, being independent of your own finances is so important.
Very much
because you know exactly where you're spending your money. You can grow your wealth. You can invest your excess funds in whatever asset you want, and you can grow your wealth. If you're not aware of that, you're not able to do any of that, which makes a huge difference. I think the most important step is like get as much, like be curious, ask questions, read as much as you can about any financial news, new financial instruments that are available, or any new apps that are coming up, and make yourself aware about what all options you have, and track your expenses, whatever salary you're earning or any birthday money that you're getting, whatever it is, how you're spending it, what are your major expenses, what are your minor expenses, see where you can cut down your expenses and कहाँ पर आप save कर सकते हो.
Exactly. And that is, I think, major चीज़ ये है कि लोगों को awareness ही नहीं है कि क्योंकि उनको benefits नहीं पता, उनको नहीं पता कि if they make an FD, they can actually earn so much more in that period of 5 or 10 years than just keeping that money, under your pillow or in your almirah. उससे बहुत ज़्यादा better हो जाएगा. So I think awareness is one of the biggest.
It's the biggest barrier, I think, that people are not able to. They're not actually taking the steps to get proper financial freedom.
Right.
I think as aware as you can be, read. That's what I'm saying. Like read, ask questions, whatever you can do to be more financially aware. Do that.
Right. And any tips for all the women out there other than just, reading and getting the information that they can keep in mind while they are, planning to secure their finances?
I think, like I mentioned, track your expenses first of all, and second of all, see how much excess funds you have, and then think कि आपका जो risk है, आप कितना risk लेना चाहते हो. With that, you can see what are the risky assets, what are the non-risky assets, and then you invest accordingly.
Right.
Because you don't want to be going into something which has a lot of risk, but you cannot actually bear that risk.
Right,
ये नहीं कि
exactly.
अगर loss, it's not like there will be a guaranteed profit, of course. There's never that case.
Right.
So you have to go into whatever you're doing with a lot of information, with knowing what exactly what entails. So knowing
Investments
how
and
much,
payments are subject to market risk. Please read all the documents
Yeah.
carefully before investing.
Don't just sign essay,
Exactly.
actually read what it says.
Right.
Makes a huge difference. And invest in whatever you want based on your risk profile. Like please keep that in mind. And कुछ कोई ऐसे rumor सुन लिया कि जैसे क्रिप्टो का आया था एक बार वो
right.
क्रिप्टो करेंसी पे
Bitcoins,
इन्वेस्ट कर दो
right.
तो you will get a guaranteed
It suddenly became a huge hype, and then suddenly everyone was investing. Then the market went crashing down, and suddenly everyone lost everything. that they had.
Exactly. So don't go with the herd. Like read what it says. Don't believe in random rumors until and unless you have read what
Everything that
exactly.
there is to read and know about it.
Exactly.
Okay. And talking about you, like if you have been into finances since so long, what kind of savings or financial security do you manage for yourself? I'm sure of course अभी ऐसी कोई hardcore earning तो नहीं है because you're still a student. But as you said, birthday money हो गया या किसी festival पे relative से पैसे दे दिए. How do you manage that?
So through my father's account, there's this website called Zerodha, where you can trade online on different stocks. So with any birthday money that I get or anything, my father will put that into that bank account, and through that I can invest in multiple stocks. And
Right.
what I do is that I don't do it like on a short-term basis. I'm doing it more of like a long-term thing, like a SIP account. There are 2 stocks that I invest in regularly every week, just 1,000 rupees every week. But it's Nifty Bs and Junior Bs.
Okay.
It's the best performing companies on the NSE and BSE.
Right.
And it's more of a long-term thing, like I mentioned. It's not that I'm buying one stock and then selling it the next day. It's more of like from a long-term vision. Ki theek hai, even if I lose money right now, in 10-20 years, the price of the stock will definitely increase.
Right.
Like depending on how the market performs. So one thing that I would like say again, जब भी कोई invest कर रहा है किसी चीज में, you can't expect like short-term results. If
Right.
for you to be able to do that, you have to be an expert in the field. Otherwise,
Absolutely.
it's like you're just playing a gamble.
Right.
It's a 50-50 chance, and you're just playing your cards.
Right.
Which is not a good thing to be doing with your money.
Exactly.
It's not a game. You need to be wise. So,
It's
like,
hard-earned money after all.
yeah, exactly. So that's what I do. Like I invest like every week on an alternate basis between both the stocks. And I've been doing that for like almost 2 years now, and I myself have seen like a huge growth rate. Of course, even if it's small, but that money is not staying stagnant. It's growing, na? Like जितना
Right.
invest किया, थोड़ा सा the growth है ही उसमें.
Exactly.
And 10-15 years down the line, it obviously will
It
grow.
will grow much more. Exactly. And for all the kids out there, for all the students out there who similarly like you probably don't have knowledge of investments and finances but want to do something with the money that they're gaining from here and there, क्या कर सकते हैं वो? What are your tips for them?
I think firstly तो ask your parents कि जो money आ रही है घर पे कहाँ पर ज़्यादा spend हो रही है, कहाँ पर कम spend हो रही है. Learn about where the money in the family is going. That
Right.
कि कहाँ पर मीन जो like house के rent में जा रहा है, कहाँ जा रहा है, जिससे you know that once you start earning your money,
Right.
what the primary expenses are.
Exactly.
Because none of this is taught at school. जो practical knowledge ये सारी है, it's not taught at school.
भाई मैंने 7 साल से ट्रिग्नोमेट्री नहीं यूज़ किया और इन्वेस्टमेंट मुझे आज भी नहीं करनी आती. सो इन्वेस्टमेंट ही सिखा दो यार ट्रिग्नोमेट्री से अच्छा. What's the point?
That's what. So I think just understanding where the money in the family is going, and also using and saving up whatever money you get, whether it's on festivals, birthday money, जो भी है.
Right.
Track where it is going, कि आप कहाँ पर spend कर रहे हो, और अगर बच रहा है, ask your parents if you can have like a junior bank account, like minors के लिए bank accounts बन सकते हैं under special circumstances. So invest it there. Don't just keep it in your wallet in your room
Right.
in some piggy bank. Actually
Right.
put it to use somewhere. जिससे अगर वो 1,000 rupees है, वो सिर्फ 1,000 ही आए, वो 1,100 बन जाए शायद.
And that 100 also makes a difference.
Exactly.
Because it's growth after all. Your money is growing, which is always better. It's always welcome.
Of course.
Okay. So, ये बताओ, Kashvi, like when you started all of this, I mean, you're a student. How did life change? Like, how do you're in 12th standard, I'm sure.
Yeah.
कैसे life changing and how do you manage everything?
I think at times it can be very overwhelming with everything going on at once. But I think prioritizing stuff and delegating responsibilities, both these things have really helped me. Prioritizing in the sense that I'll make sure that I know कि सबसे पहले क्या करना है, फिर क्या करना है, and I'll plan the day or the week for myself, which has been really helpful. And secondly, like getting volunteers, getting a team to help me with different verticals. That has also been really helpful because then I can focus on other things as well, and ensuring that there's like quality work being done on each front, because if I try and do everything at once,
then
कुछ भी
नहीं हो पाएगा.
कुछ नहीं होएगा. But I think my friends and family have been really supportive. They've helped me with both the projects as well as other things, so that's been great.
I am sure it has been, because after all बिना help के तो कुछ भी नहीं हो सकता. No one can do everything that is out there to be done, but then again help से सब कुछ किया जा सकता है.
Exactly.
I am so glad that we had this conversation today, Kashvi, because honestly this is so important, especially for women like us who need to learn how to manage our expenses, and of course beyond us there are a lot of people who need the information that you are providing them with.
Exactly.
So congratulations on already having achieved so much, for becoming the 17th under 17 of whatever that you plan on doing, and hopefully for being the future Amartya Sen. I am sure that you will do great, and I'm sure that you will help a lot of people out there.
Thank you so much.
It is all my pleasure. Keep listening to Ladies First on ABP Live Podcasts.